is the one.
And so,
is there really
right,
the one?
I don't believe there's the one. I do believe there's someone who, we talked about this before. I do believe you have people that are compatible for your purpose, and I do believe you have the opportunity to choose. And so I don't believe there's just one, but I believe that you can. There's some people that fit your purpose.
I 100% agree. I think out of the 8 billion people in the world, there's more than just one person that is compatible to your purpose. And I like what you said, is because we believe in purpose-driven living, so that would mean also purpose-driven relationships.
Yeah, so and then I asked the question, I said, so if there was just the one and your spouse, unfortunately, God forbid, passed away and you got remarried, then how could you get remarried if the one was already passed away? And so I believe that there are
right. Does that make that one the two?
Yeah. So I believe there are multiple people who can fit, but I believe we have the option to choose. And then that's why I believe in our dating is very critical to date for purpose. So you kind of know who you're choosing.
So if we were to help people find the one, or the one for who they want to spend the rest of their life with, you would say we start at where?
Purpose? My number one is the thought of living without the person just drives you crazy. Like, you can't live, the thought of not being without them anymore just makes you feel so uncomfortable. Like, you can't be without them. That thought of, like, I can't imagine living life without this person. I think that's a very great indicator.
Okay, so my number one would be, you got to know where you want to go in life. I think where a lot of people mess up is, yes, I might not be able to live with you. I think that is a critical point, what my wife just said. And I think also in turn to that is knowing where you want to go in life, because if where you are right now is not who or what you want to be, then you can invite somebody into a world that they buy into. We know friends that have done that. They've invited people into their world, and then come to find out they wanted to do or be something totally different, but the person's like, that's not the person I fell in love with.
Yeah, and so I think you have to be able to have those conversations, and I think again, we talk about married for purpose, because you're gonna change in marriage, you're gonna evolve. So you have to have two people who are willing to allow each other to evolve. So that leads me to my number two, is someone who is not trying to change you, but really accepts you for who you are. Right. And so who really can accept you at this point. And, you may have some idiosyncrasies or things like, okay, baby, can you just clean up, or stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, at the core of who you are, they're not trying to change you. You can accept them for who they are, and they can accept you for who you are. I think that's that would be my number two.
Okay, so mine is compatibility. So I think after you have some self-discovery, you have some idea of where you want to go in life, you have some idea of who you are in life, I think now you got to look to see, am I compatible? Do you want one kid and I want 10?
Yeah.
Do you want to live in America and I want to live in China? Yeah. Do you want to live with your parents and I don't want to live nowhere near your parents? Are you the kind of person that invites your mama into everything and I don't invite your mama into nothing? I mean, now we got to get down to compatibility. What things do you like? What are your sexual preferences? A lot of people don't want to talk about stuff until it's too late. And then it's like, oh man, I had no idea you were into that. Well, had you asked some better questions, you would have learned that I do like this person. I might even love them, but really we're not compatible.
That's good. And so with that compatibility, it leads me to my third one. So I think we'll do 6 on this one, right?
Okay.
And so mine is being honest. And so I love how you talk about compatibility. And so mine would be, can you be totally honest and naked with this person? Like, you're at a point where you're not withholding. Right. You found someone where I could just be completely naked. And then, what's so amazing is the number of people that can get naked physically with people. Like, I don't know what's more,
can't get naked emotionally.
Can't get naked emotionally. Like, that's so amazing to me.
Because that's a different level of vulnerability.
But it's amazing. Like, I can let you in my vagina. I can let your face. Like, all this. But I can't, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that will probably be my, isn't that interesting? But my number 3 is when you finally found that person who's like, I'm not afraid to be naked and let your face in my heart and my vagina.
Okay, I'm gonna move on from that because I can deal with that for a little while.
Okay.
All right, so I'm a piggyback on honesty. All right, so here's where honesty is for me. Is in your sexuality. I know this is deep, but we just had this conversation with some people about they're getting ready to get married, and now after they're in love and they're getting ready to seal the deal, now this person wants to be honest about they've been with several opposite sex.
Oh, okay.
I mean the same sex. I'm sorry, the same sex.
But it goes back into honesty.
That's what I'm saying. But now getting more deeper into the relational identity of your sexuality. Who are you sexually?
At your core. And I think that goes to being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so even with that, if that person is through with that, I think I commend them for having this honest conversation before the marriage. But then there are some, questions on, is it too late? Was it revealed so late? And I don't know, but I commend them on being honest where there's still time for either persons to press pause on getting married.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that.
Okay.
But y'all stay tuned. That's part one.
Part one.
We'll come back with part two.
We're going to talk about sex.
Jathan and Veverly Show. Y'all stay tuned.